Oh, this one's gonna be a doozy.
Oh, we're finally back.
Here once again. Feels goddamn
As far
good.
back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
That is pure fucking insanity.
What happened to the good old days of smoking a little bit of grass, huffing some paint, and getting freaky in the mud. All sorts of twigs.
Some crazy shit's been going on all over the world, all over the country, and we're just chilling up here in the Northwest.
Northwest Pacific experience.
I'm just feeling alright that, you know what, the universe is going to give us what we fucking want, and we're just going to be prepared, and we're going to fucking deal with it.
Hello, everyone. Oh my god. Yes. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is the Pacific Experience Podcast, also known as PacX. PacX! And this is episode 18. You can check us out at PacXPodcast.com. You can also check us out on the Facebook at PacXPod.
Dude, hit us on the face, Mark Zuckerberg, monitoring all your messages to make sure they're just the right amount of appropriateness.
Yep. You know how it goes.
Sorry, Wendell. Also, gotta hit us on the Insta, PacX Pod. Gotta find us. Send us. I want you to slide in the DMs, specifically for me, native of the Northwest, because I want to see all types of just, sexual innuendos that deal with the Northwest. So, this is just a slight little intro. I came up with a dating app that I really wanted to be catered to the people of the Northwest.
Okay.
But the thing is I couldn't find a name for it. I had a bunch of spin-off names, like Timber instead of Tinder. But the thing was, I had all these fake usernames to use, like Douglas Firm, Johnny Big Spruce Tip, Throbbing Redwood 69. I had all these fake tree sexual names that were great for it, but I just couldn't figure out a goddamn name for the app. But so if somebody figures it out, let me tell you, I've got a list of at least 50 good. They're mainly tree based. It doesn't matter.
Please tell me there was.
Yes.
I don't even know where to go with this.
Dude,
oh my god, there's so many directions to go.
Douglas Firm.
Dude,
I'm
Douglas,
very
I'm
proud
torn.
of.
I'm torn
I'm
between
very
Douglas
proud of.
Firm and Timber.
Yeah.
You guys heard it.
Welcome
Welcome to the pack.
to your sexual experience. We're here though. Goddamn. Yes. Honestly, you almost want it to be like in a movie where somebody is like a janitor cleaning up a school, and their name is Douglas, and they're like, some kid goes like, "Oh, what's your full name, man?" Douglas Firm. Like, holy God, dude's
that's
packing
large.
a small
That's
baseball
massive.
bat in his trousers. Run away.
Oh my gosh. Alright, you guys heard it. Follow us at PacXPod on Instagram, but mainly follow Native of the Northwest and stay tuned for this new app coming out called
do.
Douglas Firm
Please
or
do.
Timber.
I've got a lot of business ideas.
Exclusive to the PNW folk.
Yeah, only.
Reach out to your Native of the Northwest, but I'm your host, Lloyd Smith, with your co-host,
Austin Davis.
And
I'm
we're
always
here.
pleased to be here.
Dude, it's nice to have you back. We didn't have you for 2 episodes. Shit got weird.
Yeah, I was in a wedding, and then there was a gap between work, and now here I am again. It's great. I enjoy this. This is something I look forward to all the fucking time.
Fuck yeah, man. Me too.
I listen to it. It's weird. Listening to your own voice is weird. Listening to your rhetoric is odd, and then you tweak it. It gets better. I sound more professional. I sound less professional. I sound who I am. I don't give a
True, man. I mean, that's how it goes. It's kind of like listening to yourself beat off. You know, it's like weird the first couple times, but then you're like, all right, you know what? I could maybe do this.
You know? That's like if it's almost like in a mirror. Like if you were to catch the faces that you used while sexually pleasing yourself, it would be odd, but at the same time, you'd want to like make it better, and that's what we try to do.
What? All right, we'll go ahead and curve this one to the left.
Oh yeah, but so I have something I've been wanting to talk about since yesterday because we were gonna podcast yesterday, and Lloyd had a hernia.
Yeah.
It was wild. It was an insane experience, but it's okay because it did not bother me at all because he's gonna be back here the next day,
And here we are.
fighting through the pain. But what I'm talking
All
about
a
is
lot better now.
Megalodons.
What? Megladon?
Megalodons. So, I've been reading a lot about them in the past
Okay.
year or two. The
Looking
point
this up.
is that Megalodons are, prehistoric shark. They grow up to 60 feet long. And the whole thing is that could they live, to today?
Okay. 60 feet.
60 feet.
Proven to be from the
That's,
prehistoric
I
time.
would say, proven because they don't have a Megalodon fucking body. I mean,
Okay.
they have incisors, which I think the largest incisor is 7 or 8 inches that they have fossilized. A 7 or 8 inch shark tooth. But so in comparison, T-Rexes are about 20 plus feet. Megalodons grow to 60 plus feet, so it's 3 times the size of a T-Rex.
Holy fuck,
But
dude.
the reason they compare them to the T-Rex is for the bite force, and it is fucking massive. Because it's just
huge.
yeah, huge.
Okay.
It's so huge.
What could this fucking Megalodon tear up with his bite force?
I would say look it up, but it's a huge amount. I want to say it's over 12 tons. Type in Megalodon bite force. The whole point is you're just thinking about sharks, and you think about most sharks. Well,
Yeah.
all sharks. They're muscles. I mean, a lot of amphibious creatures that are predators are basically just giant fucking muscle that have a mouth, and they're predators. So, bite force, what's that say? 24,000 to 40,000
Yeah.
pounds per square inch? Oh my god.
Dude, that's crazy. We would be a fucking, a seed to them.
Oh, nothing. You'd be
Yeah.
you'd be little
Nothing.
krill. You just
Yeah.
literally get inhaled into their lungs.
Yeah,
They would
krill-
not
yeah.
even chew you.
Yeah, true that.
So the whole point was I got really interested because throughout history, we have these mythological creatures, and one of them, believe it or not, was giant squid. And people thought for a long time, kraken, giant squid. These were things
Yeah.
of folklore, deep in the depths. But what interested me
Everything is, if it's not on the main news network, it's folklore.
if you can't find it. But
Yeah.
what interested me was that Mariana's Trench. Mariana's Trench is the deepest part of the Earth in the ocean. It's
Really?
7
What's this called?
miles.
How do I say it?
Mariana's Trench.
Marianas?
Yes.
Trench? Okay.
Mariana's Trench is this giant canyon that is 7 miles deep. I think it's 3 or 4 miles wide, but it spans 1,500 miles. And it's
Holy shit!
and you know what's funny? So there's only 3 people in the fucking world throughout human history that have gone down to, and they call it it's called the Deep Sea Challenger, but basically the deepest point.
Is that it?
Right
here.
No, so that top left, the first one,
Yeah.
that's a topical view,
Deep
but
Sea
that
Challenge.
gives the the length and where the location is. But basically, there is a pinnacle point for the deepest point in the Marianas Trench, and there's only been 3 people that have done it. 2 of them were in the 1960s. The third person was fucking James Cameron. James
Okay.
Cameron took a deep sea sub down to the down to the bottom of the Marianas Trench at the deepest point. And but the thing they talk about constantly is sort of the life deep sea challenge. That's what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
They talk about the life down there. And so the life down there, obviously, it's pitch black. It's pitch black, and I think down at that depth,
what's the pressure like? Fuck.
That's what I was just about to say. I think it's like 14 or 20 tons per square inch. I shit you not. It literally, it's insane.
Does any explorer or scientist
Dude, the subs are
put
crazy.
any type of material of any type of tool of
The subs are nutty.
I mean, these subs have to be
and you know what's funny?
nutty. Seems like an underestimate.
So the subs,
understatement.
submersibles, they go like boats, but there's a point where, and especially watching these videos, especially with James Cameron, because this is most recent, the sub is going down like if a human's standing up, like it's standing straight up, but it's going down. So it literally stands straight up but goes down. It's not like a boat where you would think it goes laterally. It's standing straight up and down but descending.
Okay.
Super fucking
I
interesting.
see.
And they have to be
that
very
makes sense.
insulated.
Yeah.
And the whole thing is too, like with that much pressure, you can't be down there long. But there's aquatic life down there, and a lot of them, like there's translucent white octopus. There's so many creatures down there, and that's what the whole thing got me.
Sunlight.
Exactly. With so much, like I would say it's
lacking
similar to the vacuum of space.
For what we scientists, a lot of majority of scientists out there have based the requirements for life, and have labeled the beginning of life to the necessary things that contribute to it, like sun.
Yep.
And so this question,
defies
it's just like discovering aliens.
No, it totally defies it.
It defies so much, which has been
the atmosphere,
been laid down to be proven, and has
pressure,
been put in books.
Things. And so what spawned me into this was just one, like interested in sharks because I'm terrified of I would say open ocean. Definitely, especially
dude.
sharks.
We've talked about this before.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely terrified of it, man.
But what was interesting is that, like, when reading through all this stuff, and especially about folklore, where giant squid, everybody knows. I mean, especially I grew up in the '90s, but like 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea was the fucking movie to watch. I mean, what's funny too is like the scariest part to watch was when they had their nautical submarine coming at ships, like that. The yellow eyes and the waves were breaking over. And that was the ship. It wasn't the fucking squids. But when the squid attacked the sub, that was fucking horrific. Oh my god. He's out there in his fucking white striped fucking t-shirt, just like with hatchets, and they're battling this giant squid. And that's all they have. You have hatchets. And this thing has tentacles and suction cups and it's fucking ripping blah. But the whole point was that giant squids were not believed to be real until like 2006 or something.
Really,
and
not until 2006.
I mean, you could look it up. I mean, the man with the computer right now, but I think what I read is that there was a Chinese like fishing vessel that had some sort of submersible with a camera, and it captured a giant squid, and it is the largest invertebrate. It's not a mammal, but
But yeah, I know. I know where you're going.
Huge. It's red, and it came from the Marianas Trench. And
okay.
And so the whole question is that so Megalodons, we're supposed to have been.
And hold on, I'm sorry to interrupt, but that was from a Chinese
like fishing vessel
from 2006.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I, like people want to argue about that. That's great. I'm just like,
I'm not
quoting from
this is the fact.
from things that I read. But yeah, that giant red squid, and it, that very corner right photo is the one that I saw. Dude, this thing not only was massive, but it's the first time that they sort of like, oh wow, giant squids are real. And at deep sea levels, man. And so then it spawns the question that, do megalodons possibly live in Marianas Trench or the deep sea to survive? And then it goes even further to say, like, so if they've evolved to live down there, a lot of creatures there are blind bioluminescence, like they do all these things, so they sort of give you a depiction of what they imagine what a megalodon might be if they live down there. which it would be, they say it would be translucent. It would feed on a lot of the smaller things because Megalodons back in the day ate a 2,500 pound diet a day. They ate 2,500 pounds of food a day.
Dude, that's... Yeah.
But
that's fucking crazy.
Think about, like, humpback whales. You think about, like, was it whale sharks? Like, they eat these super small animals, but they eat a ton of them.
I mean, yeah, that's what we were talking about. I was talking about orcas on that podcast a couple episodes ago. Orcas have to eat something like, dude, if one's pregnant, I can't remember, dude. It was hundreds and hundreds of pounds of salmon per day.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like, they have to be...
And in the size of salmon is only decreasing.
Exactly, and that's what the whole article was about.
Thank you, climate change. Because it's not real.
Do you really think... Wait, you think climate change isn't real?
Oh, fuck no.
Well, first of all, what do you mean by climate change?
Well, climate change, I think, deals with our effect on the Earth. Mm-hmm. Humans, as we progressed in the things that we use, I think it's naive to think that as more people populate this Earth, as technology increases, and especially, we're a capitalistic country. And I think now more than ever, and I don't particularly care for the current president. I don't particularly care if it was Hillary either. I am just...
I think majority of us...
Yeah, it's like it's weird to take that stance because I think people say you have to be one or the other, but it's like no
you don't.
I'm really just for the advancement and betterment of like lives, but like people and who we are, and part of that is the fucking environment we live in, regardless if the environment cares about us or not, which it ultimately doesn't. I mean, dinosaurs got killed by the Ice Age and things like that. Like, who's to say that a giant earthquake won't happen if waves will engulf the entire Earth and drown us all? The environment doesn't care about us. But coming back to that point, I think it's naive to say that we have not had an impact, especially through the technology and through money. We have ways to fix these problems. I'm tired of hearing people saying that, like, it's not feasible, it's not plausible, this is a utopian idea. No.
I absolutely agree, man. We absolutely have ways to fix this.
And it's just, it seems so lazy, and I think that's what it comes down to. And especially the easiest way to look at it is through Trump's idea of, like, bringing coal back. Coal is a dying industry. It's dirty. It's harmful. And there's been so much that has proved that, one, solar energy, or even just green energy, it doesn't have to be solar. It can be water. It can be a multitude of means. But one, it's profitable. Two, it gives better wage of living because you're dealing with more complicated systems. And I think that's a hard thing that sometimes humans have to understand. And yeah, it's a part of evolution. If you grew up in a time period where you're swinging the pickaxe, you're doing mainly like, how would you call it? Very hands-on work,
right?
But it's
labor,
not technical.
You're doing labor,
labor work,
survive.
Yeah, but you're not
pleasure.
willing to learn. Like maybe the step up in the system in terms of mathematics, robotics. Like that's what a lot of the stuff requires.
We're being held back, man, and we're being held back with money. And you're right, and it's not just with money, but the inventions. And I don't know, man. It seems kind of obvious that the scale of technology, the growth of it, it seems like it's being halted. And I think I would like to think that most people out there can also see and feel that too. I mean, to a certain point, it's like, yo, it's 2018. We're at this point now where there's just a new car every year. Phones are becoming like fucking cars all of a sudden. There's just a new one with a new number every year, and this shit is getting cooler, sure, faster and brighter and sexier, but it's not actually getting fucking better. These phones are always going to have shit charging life, it seems like. These cars are always going to be fucking dying down. I'm seeing cars brag about 30 miles per gallon. Like, wasn't that the shit to have, like, 15 years ago?
Yeah.
Why the fuck is that still the
point.
shit? Like, I agree with you, man, 1,000%, and I don't think it needs to be a conspiracy or you need to look at bills that have been passed or certain shit to have an opinion about this. We are the technology. We are the ones who it is given to, who works for it. We are the slaves of it. We're owned by it. Yeah, I'm getting deep like that, but we're the ones who interact with it the most. We should be the ones who should have, I think, the most accurate opinion about its advancement.
Yeah.
Because if that's not the case, then then who is halting the advancements, or where are the advancements being hidden? Things should be fucking better right now, dude, and it's ridiculous. I'll talk about the food thing, but to stay on track and with coal and with cars, dude, we've talked about this before. That's why I fucking love the idea of Tesla. And a rumor I heard, and I don't know the source of this, but I remember hearing it and it's sticking with me, was that I heard that every car company out there right now has a electric car or something like Tesla in production, or at least in design. At least I don't know about production, but in design at least. That's exciting if the world is turning that way. You know, if they're gonna be like, hey, we need, if anything, Tesla is gonna become a threat as competition, and Tesla may not win and come out, but then these other companies will have to adapt to Tesla's ways to beat Tesla. If everyone can just stay on board, like, I get it, Tesla's starting to show up like that new fucking Starbucks drink or that new iPhone, and you're getting sick of it, but I mean, other than the fact that it's a sick fucking car, even if it seems so unrealistic for you to have one, talk about it and be pumped about it and be excited until these other car companies start doing the same shit. I mean, Toyota's done it a little bit, but regardless, going down to trains, all sorts of shit that's even using coal now. What the fuck do you think is gonna happen? Who do you think is gonna step up and change this?
I will say, like with Tesla, I think that's the point, is that they're pioneering. You're pioneering something new.
Great way of putting it.
That's the whole point.
It's a sacrifice, passing a torch.
You know what's weird is that it's a similarity. Is that people not wanting to learn a new system to provide to sustain a living. I mean, technology advances at an exponential rate. If you can't learn to deal with robotics and systems, and I work in the fucking brewery industry, but let me tell you, man, I never saw myself I work really well with my hands. I'm just a hard worker. Never saw myself dealing with machines and sensors and doing these things. Really, if I looked at myself at 18 years old and said, like, this is what I'd be interested in doing, I'd be like, yeah, fucking right. That's for smart people.
Yes.
That's for engineers.
Yeah, same
absolutely. But here I am. I'm learning it, and that's what I feel like. When Trump's like, we're bringing back coal, it's like, no, you're pitching the wrong idea to the wrong people. These people don't want to fucking learn that. And you know what happens to them? They end up in McDonald's.
Why? For jobs? You're bringing it back for jobs?
They end up at grocery stores. But Tesla, not only do people see it as like fancy, but they pioneer a new way for things how they should be. Honestly, they really should.
Absolutely.
They're smart. I mean, dude, how long? And we talk about this all the time. And I remember because when I first met you working at Codex, doing fiberglass doors, but we talked about how they were doing like solar powered roadways and things like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not saying that's how it should be right now because it's got to lead up to that, but like that's where things are going. And when you're trying to fight back against that, and that's exactly what Trump tries to do, because when you're pitching to that conservative, that's not the right way to put it. But when you're pitching to that group, which I think he really has, like that blue collar, but he's not blue collar, which is weird. Like he's very much a businessman, but he's like
people oversee
he's
that
like
a lot. Yeah.
Oil and coal, and it's like, dude, this guy, like, look at his palms. Does he have calluses on his hands? Are they dirty? Are they scarred? Like, they're not. And I think that's what's interesting, is that that's his pitch.
Yeah,
and yet
man.
You want to bring it up and be like, yeah, show me your fucking hands, dude.
Let me see them soft motherfucking creepy ass baby
What's
hands.
this, you using Jergens?
Dude, soft hands suck, man. Dude, I shook someone's hand today, and someone else called me. He's like, he's got soft hands, huh? And I was like, that's really fucking weird.
That's like an old saying too.
Yeah, and
it
then
as
I was shaking his hand, I was like, those are fucking soft. Like, that's fucking.
It's a very
creepy.
old saying.
Get that shit off. Dude.
It's a straight, like, blue collar old saying when, like, this guy's got soft hands. It means, like, yeah, he does not do a whole lot of work, like, with his hands to understand the meaning. But, dude, we're not here to fucking debate about your politics and make you get enraged. We're just talking about the things that are coming up in the world.
That's
and
what we need to do is put down the bickering to advance.
It's gonna fucking happen. Like, it's going to happen. I think electric cars are going to be a very common thing. I think solar energy is going to be a very common thing, especially because a lot of this stuff with the things that there are gripes about, where things getting imported out of the U.S., those are all things that deal with, like, the automotive industry, that deal with the technology industry. They don't deal with the solar industry. They don't deal with alternative energy, which is what's odd, is that, like, we're fighting against us, and yet here we are, like, deporting these things to China. And that's why, dude, like, China has one of the biggest economies right now. Like,
comedies?
Biggest comedies. You ever seen Godzilla?
Yeah.
No, it's such a weird.
Did you hear it, China? You're a big fucking comedy.
No, it's interesting. That's another topic.
Dude, I could talk about China. Dude, about
do
China?
do some things. I talked about Megladon. We got on this thing about Teslas and.
Yeah, what did we talk about? Megladon.
What do you learn this week?
What did I learn this week?
Wendell, let me know.
Dude, I don't know what I learned this week, man. I learned that John McCain, passed away.
Oh God, dude.
The
I
only
actually really like John McCain. Not gonna lie.
I liked him. I've always liked him. I really have. But the only comment I can really have to say is I think it's hilarious how when he was running against Obama, how people were calling him a racist and shit. Now he's like an honorable, American. I just the way that is spun through. I don't know. I find it funny, but funny in the sense. What I mean is funny is how far-sighted it seems that the main media that the majority of people can swing within 10, 15
it's a heavy
years,
pendulum.
Dude. It's just it's hard to grasp how much fucking shit can change.
No, you're absolutely right, dude.
It's
It's a very
crazy,
heavy pendulum that it swings. One
yeah.
side it's on this side, and then one side it's on this side, but the force it just it never seems to lessen.
And you can't do anything about it.
Oh fuck no!
I mean, other than talking about that big obvious thing, dude, I didn't learn shit. I learned that we're in a big fucking Trump's talking tough with trade wars with China.
That's no good. Because
China
has
good.
one of the most powerful economies. Like they are
in
almost
the fucking world.
Yeah,
their way of life is very different from ours.
They're the World Bank right now. I mean,
they truly are, dude. They loan money out to other countries, and they loan money out to fucking organizations and all sorts of shit. And they're like, cool, you don't have to pay us back. Okay, now you do 200%.
Yeah.
You can't.
That
do
was
that?
the
Okay,
whole
fine,
thing
220%.
when all these tariffs started happening, but especially with the UN when Trump was not wanting to do trade agreements, China was like, cool. Well, we're the bank, so you don't want to do trade agreements with us. That's fucking great because everybody owes us money.
I think, dude, when someone gets into power, though, and I think when they try to make any move with or against or for China or without China, I think they realize, you can't do that. It's kind of like trying to build a house without electricity.
Yeah.
I mean, you can, but you don't know how.
It's tough.
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough. I don't know. That's kind of an accurate statement. I don't know if we can, really. And if I was dropped off in the middle of the wild, I'm pretty sure I could build myself a little house.
These things happen throughout history where it's sort of the world powers of banks. I mean, for a while it was Germany, then it was us, now it's China. I'm not sure that goes in order, but it has bounced around. And what's interesting to see is that throughout history, it's sort of nobody wisens up to even their debt. Everybody's constantly in debt to somebody else to allow the control to constantly happen.
Well, the torch just gets passed around, man. I mean, you gotta look at all the banks being bought, all the world banks, by the Rothschilds. The last 3 banks they did not own was the. We're getting there. We get there.
Getting deep.
We're getting deep. We're going deep, dude. I mean, this isn't conspiracy. This is, fact. The Rothschilds. Okay. Actually, now, I'm gonna get conspiracy here. There's 3 banks left.
Wait, let me say it. This one's gonna be doozy.
This one's gonna be doozy. This one's gonna.
This one's gonna be.
Before I lose my fucking track, where I was,
Rothschild.
Rothschilds. There was 3 banks. The 3 3 banks that were left that were not owned by the Rothschilds. Okay, was Iraq. Okay, 4. No, 3. Iraq, Iran, and Cuba. They used the Britain, United Nations, to get Iran. They used the United States to get Iraq. And I don't know if you remember this. Do you remember when Obama went to Cuba a few years ago? Shook hands. I can't remember what the hell it meant. It meant something. He went to Cuba and shook hands, which was a very big deal, I guess. That's got to be at least somewhat the purchase of the last one. Whole Federal Reserve, all that yin yang, all that shit, dude. I think it's the chains of the ankles. I think it's really what is holding back to kind of tie it back the technology that is being suppressed from being invented. I mean, life is pretty fucking cool, man. Life is pretty fucking beautiful. But I think that it should be the rate for how we try to work to improve it. Shit should be better now. We shouldn't just get shinier fucking toasters and a fucking bigger screen phone. And be like, that's technology advancing. No, dude, we should be able to power our fucking homes and drive our fucking vehicles in ways that I'm sure we can't even understand. That make life a lot easier. I don't know, man. It's like everyone's so concerned about creating jobs, creating jobs. Why? We have so many people on this planet now. We've got to be doing it wrong, man. I mean, if we have 7.5 billion people on this planet, we should.
Because we've taken out the hard work. We've taken out all the things that make life a challenge. You make things competitive. Honestly, I grew up, in a big family. Competitiveness has now been completely negated. It's been completely negated to me. In terms of how I view.
What do you mean?
God, I fucking hate to make this argument because the first thing people are going to go oh, well,
let's do it, man.
You're male and you're white. No wonder you think it's.
We're here to stir
negated.
the pot up, man. People can easily turn this
Good.
off.
They can just fucking
or they
suck
can
it.
listen in and tune
I grew up
in.
poor. I work fucking hard. I am not smart. I work well with my hands. I'm that type of worker that I work well with my hands. You show me how to do something once, and if you do it well, I just repeat it. I repeat it verbatim. That's what I do. I do it good. But what people don't like is that as more humans are on this planet, people don't want to do things the way they're taught. That's okay. There's room for improvement. There's a way to do things more efficiently. I mean, that's the whole thing of learning. But people feel, they shouldn't have to do the groundwork. That's the biggest thing I learned in college. And I went to community college. And I dropped out of community college because I was doing graphic design. I was doing all this stuff on paper, die cutting, printing, using my hands, and I enjoyed it. But what was funny is I spent all this money and time, and then my teacher told me that, hey, so next semester, all this is going to be on computer. Everything you just learned was just to teach you a lesson. And I was just bewildered because I was like, I just spent thousands of dollars fucking working hard doing this. And then you're telling me this is all on computer, that's all going to be measured, cut, blah, blah, blah. It's all going to be done automatically.
Okay.
It takes it away. It felt very cheating, and not only that, but it felt like I was just paying for a lesson I didn't need to fucking learn. And it didn't seem to me that people that had a knack or hard work for it got to show their prowess, as opposed to people that were just lazy, but somebody could correct it for them. So that's why I do blue-collar work. Okay. I mean, dude, I fucking love this industry. Let me tell you, there's a lot of badass bitches. And bitches as in women. There's a lot of badass fucking women that brew really fucking good beer.
Fuck yeah.
That are tough. That fucking throw 50-pound bags of barley on their fucking shoulders. Yeah, dude. They are fucking hot. They're tattooed and they're hot. But yeah. And that's
up here in the PNW, by the way.
God
here on the
damn,
PacX
dude. People
podcast.
just want to fucking complain. People want to say that things are too hard for them. And it's bullshit, dude. Can you imagine that we grew up nomadic people? You had to travel around. You had to plant your crops in terms of season. You had to learn when things were harvested, rotated. You had to learn what bad seasons were. And here we are fucking complaining that, this workplace is too competitive. So that makes me want to just, this is just too tough for me. But it's just it's bullshit. This is the whole point of Darwinism. This is why things that fucking exist. This is why people get raises that you don't deserve. And we live near Seattle. We live near cities like Seattle, where a big thing 2-3 years ago was people were complaining about minimum wage. $15 minimum wage is what people wanted. Dude, I get paid $18 an hour for the job that I do. That's $38,000 a year. You're telling me that the job I do dealing with multi-million-dollar machinery and product and everything that I enjoy, I do not at all take this for granted. This is my fucking life. I have a great amount of pride for what I do. But then there's going to be some dumb fuck flipping burgers that wants $15 an hour.
Because even though it's more expensive around where that person is living, the banks don't fucking care. Or the fucking, even the government for that sake, dude. You're fucking, I mean, everything is okay, there's the number that you just said there, 38, that is looked at in the same equivalence almost throughout the country. Even though there's different, there's different fluctuation of money and stuff.
Oh, yeah. And what's tough is that as poverty level rises, I feel it rises with the city. It doesn't meet what it actually is.
Yeah.
When I first worked for so I've been with the brewery for 3 years. My first 2 years, I worked for $12 an hour. I was making $24,000 a year. After taxes, I was making like $19,000. I lived paying my rent, bills, insurance. Yeah, I was scraping by, but that's the whole point. I survived. Like, that was the whole point. I didn't fucking sit there and be like, oh, I can't do it. Grandma, Grandpa, help me out. And that's what fucking pisses me off, is that we breed lazy people to feed, like what you're talking about.
Dude, I saw something fucking bizarre today. I was in Seattle. Speaking of minimum wage, it's super early in the morning. Me and a buddy of mine, we were in McDonald's.
Spoil him?
Getting breakfast really early in the morning in Seattle. And as we're in there, dude, this guy is fucking... he's standing... Irate. Dude, he's standing there he's standing there in the middle, and he's holding this fucking wet, like, fucking cloth, and he's dangling it on his finger, and he's staring at his finger, and he's making different faces while staring at his finger. I come out of the bathroom. I look around, my buddy's standing in line. I spend time to stare at this guy, obviously, like to show him that I'm staring at him, to be like, what are you doing? And then as I'm staring at him, I turn around the corner to see that my buddy's doing the exact same thing. We both look at each other and just like start smiling, trying to hold back our laughter, because we're like, what the? We think that he's on drugs. Either that or he's asking for attention, trying to be funny. He's
doing a magic trick.
You know, that's what I mean. Like, it was like, you know, it looked like that. And yeah, and so we go and we sit down, we look at each other, and we're like, what the hell? And then we turn and look, and there's two fucking machines that look like ATMs where you can take your fucking order at McDonald's. And we're like, oh yeah, we're in Seattle. And then that's when I was like, that guy's getting paid 15 fucking bucks an hour to stare at his fucking thumb the way that I did when I was 4 years old? Like, are you fucking kidding me? Nah. Like, dude, I like to have my fucking, like, dumb man moments, dude. Like, there's that comedian who said that men can actually think of nothing. I believe that, dude. I have my moments of thinking of nothing.
Perfect fucking example.
At something, but in the middle of the fucking lobby, dude, where there's people walking by you, and you're just like, and dude, he continued it. So I thought maybe it was just a fucking moment for someone, right?
Fuck no, dude.
Maybe it was just a moment. I'm even trying to give him that in my head. He continues to walk, dragging his feet, and I'm like, okay, you know, no diss on that. You know, I'm going there. Whatever. When the handicapped are employed in the workplace, you know, like Goodwill. This was not like that, and I was trying to figure out if maybe this person was challenging someone.
He's not special.
He's not special, okay? I was trying to figure that out. I was like, do I need to be mad, or do I need to just ignore it? I was like, no, you were very, very aware of what the fuck you were doing. Are you fucking kidding me? Dude, it made me so fucking frustrated.
That's why everybody needs to be tested, and it's just sad because we don't make it allowed to be tested. And what's funny is, you know, you want to know about me? You heard me on this podcast a lot. I go outside all the time. I really enjoy it. You know why? Because it's fucking hard.
Fuck yeah, man.
A big joke I heard. It was actually in high school. I'm not gonna name the black person that said it, but it doesn't matter they were a black person. But it's just funny from the perspective where they go, only white people go hiking. Like, why the fuck would you climb up a steep ass hill just to look at a view, get all sweaty, get bit by bugs, like starve yourself? Like,
really?
Yeah.
Really?
It was just funny to me. It's not saying it sticks, but it's tough. And that's the point, is there's something you learn out of toughness. And this thing you hear about all the time. The more that we make the world lazy, people don't understand the values that come through hard work. It's called fucking building character. You ever read Calvin and Hobbes by Bill Watterson? If you haven't,
fuck yeah, I got it.
You
right
should.
Here.
You should. Bill Watterson is a great fucking man.
Amen.
He's very much an introvert. He does not care to hear about your thoughts. But he created Calvin and Hobbes that literally just brings out so much, and it gives so much like childlike perspective, but innocence. And it does pose a lot of the questions, and a lot of them was the funny things where his dad was just the hard-working American man. Where anytime Calvin was like, I don't want to do this, his dad would be like, well, yeah, you know what? It builds character. And it really does. Like, regardless of whether you want to do it or not, you do something that's hard, it teaches you something. And yet, here we live in a world where people just fucking want things expected if it's not immediate gratification. I mean, dude, did you hear about the Jacksonville, Florida shooting that happened recently?
Oh, I scrolled past it.
You know what's fucked up? Is over video games.
Oh, I did read about that. Yeah.
A Madden player at the tournament got angry that he lost and came back in and shot people up.
Yep.
That's like the laziest fucking thing to do. Your job is to play video games for a living, and you fucking lose because you're not as good as somebody else, so what do? You go grab a gun and you go kill them. Holy God, dude. Are you kidding me? And then, of course, you know what this person does? They put the gun on themselves and they kill themselves afterwards. It's sad. It's sad. I'm not going to get depressing about this point.
Yeah,
I think
that's fucking sad.
What's just terrible is that as this world perpetuates to get more evolved, to get more technological, things get more lazy. Like, people can't stand criticism. People can't stand losing. Like, this is ridiculous. At what point is this just insanity? Which it is now.
Yeah, it really is now, man. We are there. At what point?
Yeah.
That point was crossed,
That's
I
very
think,
good.
before we were born.
Yep. We grew up learning about Columbine in high school. Do you guys know what Columbine's about? I bet you don't. I think
a
might
lot
have
of
to
people
fucking
our age
Google it.
listen to this, and so I think
Yeah, if you grew up in the
'90s,
'90s, you heard about Columbine and the Virginia Tech shooting.
Oh,
the two big guns.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. If you
Those are
don't,
the two big ones, dude. I think
now,
my mom came and picked me up from school. I think on both those days.
Oh yeah, dude. It's just wild, man. And now just school shootings are just like, oh, yep, happen again.
Yeah. Fucking bizarre. Well, other than all the sad shit, we're gonna be taking a break here, and when we get back, we have some funny stories. We got some other stuff coming your way, but this is episode 18. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is the PacX podcast.
PacX podcast. No, we appreciate you.
So much. Thank you so much. We'll be back after the break.
In weird.
What is up, everybody?
Welcome back. Welcome back to PacX. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. This is episode 18, the Pacific Experience Podcast. You can check us out at PacXpodcast.com. Also on Facebook at PacX Podcast.
Instagram at PacX Podcast. PacX Pod, actually.
PacX Pod
hit
and
me up
Native
in the
of the
DMs
Northwest.
of Native of the Northwest.
Yeah.
Please, I want to see your sexual pictures. I want to hear your political opinions. I want to hear just your typical conversation. Maybe you're upset at the coffee shop. I don't care. Just let me know. I'm an
Let
interesting guy.
Austin know about your feelings while you're at the coffee shop.
I'm hairy like a werewolf, man. I do not care.
That's why I call him Harry the Horse. And then while you're at it, while you're messaging,
Shout out to Pat Randall.
while you're messaging, we got to get him on. That's while you're messaging there.
That's a trip.
That is.
That's a shot. That's a shot back in the past.
Yeah,
That's
it
a
is.
dart thrown
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
universe of the dark.
Yeah. Hey, while you're at it, let us know. Give us feedback on our Facebook. Give us feedback on Podbean. Give us a download. Give us a thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs sideways, whatever you want. Let us know how we're doing. Give us some feedback. Your feedback actually matters so much to us. We just want to make sure that we improve what we are doing to bring you the Pacific Experience Podcast.
It's all about interaction. That's the grace part. That's why we want your feedback. Like, we're interacting with you. What do you want to hear? What do you want to know about?
You were with us. We are with you.
Especially if you're in Lake China and you want to know, like, what's the weather like? There's a bunch of wildfires going on out here on the West Coast. That's what we're experiencing.
That's right.
Hundreds of
The
acres
Chinese-
are burning.
Yep.
Actually, that's an understatement. Hundreds of thousands of acres are burning throughout Canada, Washington, Oregon, Montana, Colorado, California.
It's pretty fucking crazy, man.
Yeah.
It's insane. I mean, it's finally nice to see kind of a break in the air. I think the little bit of rain that we had came through washed something out, so it seemed.
And here's the funny thing, though, is that I've seen a bunch of, because I get Backpacker magazine, I get all these hiking magazines, because I used to work at REI, because I'm the native of the Northwest. I cannot do these things.
No, you just can't do them. I just can't do it. I have to hike the mountain.
So, they were talking about
You fucking
environmentalists,
wild,
a lot of
man.
people, like professors, talking about how seasons have been coming month to 2 months earlier in the past 5 years. So this year was really 45 days
To
in.
2 months?
45 days in, spring started earlier. So 45 days earlier than spring should have started. And it's with animals like mating. It's with season changes, river flows, all these climate things. And then same thing later on. Look now. I mean, dude, I'm literally driving down my house near Parkland, and I'm seeing leaves that are turning red. I shit you not.
That's crazy,
I did not
dude.
see leaves turning red
We're still in August.
before the end of August last year. I mean, I may have seen some coloration too, from green to like yellow orange, but that's at least still like, yeah, you got like another 2-3 weeks. Like, it's gonna slightly turn red, but no, like straight up leaves going from green to red.
That's crazy, man.
And
That's
so
crazy.
it's something to, if you're, and you know, I'm not trying to tell you what the fuck to believe. I would love to talk about it too. If you're a disbeliever of climate change, there's a lot of evidence out there, and it's sort of one of those overwhelming things where there's so much being talked about it being real that when people want to say like, oh, it's not happening, it seems to be in your own self-interest for you to deny it.
Yeah.
And that's the whole point, like we were talking about earlier in terms of like solar and green energy. We're not going to go down that because we already talked about it.
Right.
But it just is. It's like people that are denying it, it seems that they only are denying it for their own self-interest, not because it's true, but because they want it to benefit something for themselves.
Right, or they're stuck in their own belief system that they can't really jump out of.
It's fucking dumb. You're
because
fucking
they're
stupid.
cornered into
I'm sorry.
their belief system.
I'm gonna be a little
Austin's calling you stupid.
I'm gonna be
otherwise.
the straight up fucking wild born moose Austin that I can be sometimes.
Here it
passionate.
comes again.
You're fucking stupid.
You're native of the Northwest going
Yeah, dude, you're
wild.
fucking
I can
dumb.
see his beard twitching from here, everyone.
Literally, I have fucking pine cones sprouting out of this right now because you're making me fucking so angry. No, it's a stupid notion. I think.
Yeah,
it's just a
I think
stupid
it's.
notion.
I
For
honestly
people
think
to
it's
say
such
that we don't have an
bullshit, all of it.
impact on this climate to the point where temperatures are changing, massive amounts of sea life are dying along the coasts of multiple coasts, to seasons being fast forwarded, icebergs melt. I mean, it's. At what point do you go like, oh my god, all this crazy shit that people are saying is true? Like, why are we still living in this world? Honestly, that's how I feel about
Well,
it.
people like Elon Musk say otherwise with SpaceX going to Mars.
Well, Russia is building a space force, military space force. So if we're just going to the moon, why are we not building space marines like in StarCraft? Space Force,
Dude,
thank God for Vladimir Putin. Just
Yeah.
fucking building space forces, just like upgrading the world. Be like, oh, you guys want to go live on another planet? That's cool. We're gonna kill.
TGFVP.
we're gonna go build a military. The second you just get life on another planet, our military is gonna go take over. No, that's just me spouting some crazy shit. We're not gonna be alive for that. I hope I'm fucking far beyond dead before that fucking happens.
I don't know, man, dude. Let me ask you this: do you believe in? Okay, not believe in. Yeah, believe in. Do you believe in the Great Flood? Do you believe that happened?
Like Noah's Ark,
Yes.
not in the way the Bible depicts it.
No, not in any way, but just in general. That,
I don't think
that
it
a
can-
massive
I don't
flood
think-
happened on.
I don't
planet
think
Earth.
it can be black and white. I don't think you can say
I
that,
agree
like,
with you. I don't think it'd be black and white
yeah.
either. But
Do I think a massive flood could happen? Absolutely.
do you believe that it did happen? Not according to the Bible's terms,
I haven't read too
or
much about
anything's
it
terms.
because everything I've learned has
A
been
lot
about
of
the Bible.
all religions almost tell the story of it.
Well,
if
yeah.
there's anything common between all religions other
Do
than
I
the
think-
date of the birth of the Messiah being on the 25th.
Do I
day
think
of
a
the 12th
massive flood could happen? Absolutely. And would I believe that? Absolutely. Because of how much the tectonic plates were shifting.
Yeah.
I mean, so much.
The Mayans tell about it. The Egyptians
dude,
talk
like,
about it. The
there
Native
was so
Americans
much
talk
going
about it.
on.
All of them talk about it. Everyone talks
What's
about
interesting
it.
is when you see that, like, we have all these things that affect the world, but if you let the world be in its natural state, it was just as volatile because it was like
Yeah.
its own creature. I mean, you had
Yeah.
plates constantly shifting, converging, diverging. I mean, the fact that I honestly think that if you were to take a time capsule back in the day and like you were able to hover, and you were there to like say you were there like take a time travel trip back to the dinosaurs.
Okay.
You could sit in this hovering.
I'd get high
capsule.
as fuck with
Yeah.
the dinosaurs.
You had no, you couldn't go down to see the dinosaurs. The whole point is to keep you safe. The whole point is to keep you safe. There's a great comic.
Like what was the plan in Jurassic Park 3 when we were just flying over the island? We're not gonna land.
Me higher.
higher.
Yeah, actually, you're gonna die. No.
Yeah, and now we're
No,
down
so
here
this
and fucking
point of this
T-Rex
time
wants to...
travel vacation is that you are able to go back to Point of the Dinosaurs.
Okay.
You're basically
And see
in a
that the world is round.
fancy 5-star hotel that you paid millions of kryptons to be on. You sit there, you smoke weed, you eat fruit, you eat veggies.
Okay,
Basically,
sign me
you're
the fuck up.
floating above the atmosphere, but you watch events happen, and you're there for 30 days. I believe that there was so much activity that like earthquakes were, a common thing.
You think it was just the Earth was just constantly just...
It's like growing pains. But like honestly, when they and especially when you see through
Do you
history,
think the dinosaurs were
especially,
parasites like
religion,
we?
Fuck no, they're evolutionary animals,
Okay.
not parasites.
Okay.
I would think that the most alien things to me are sea creatures and
Yeah.
insects, for fucking sure.
Okay.
I talked very shortly. I went to a wedding in Virginia. Great, it's fucking awesome. We went to the Hollywood Cemetery. Hollywood Cemetery is one of the most visited cemeteries in the world. It has a bunch of Confederate
Really?
soldiers buried there. Yeah,
Okay, I mean...
2 presidents. There's there's a supposed vampire of Richmond is buried there. But the point I'm making is that one thing I noticed in Virginia was humidity is a real thing, and I'm a hairy motherfucker. So when I'm sitting outside,
He's native of the Northwest.
when I'm sitting outside, yeah, werewolf, polar bear sweating in the sun. First day of vacation, I'm like, cool, I'm gonna have a beer, and it's like 10 in the morning. Yeah, I had a pool of sweat in my belly button. Then if I took my pinky and dunked it in
Oh
like
my
a
God.
fat kid diving into a swimming pool, just splashed out across my skin. Yeah, that happened in 10 minutes. Second point is, insects there are crazy. Cicadas are super loud. Virginia has a lot
Wait,
of
what'd you
these
say? What are they called?
cicadas.
Cicadas?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So,
You say they're
Don't
super
have it-
loud?
I don't
Can
have
you
it
make
pulled
the
out.
noise that they make? Awesome.
I cannot make the noise, but there's lots of them, and they're very loud. The funny thing is,
Not
is that
even like
the
a
first
tip?
thing I ever bang the mic. First thing I ever learned about cicadas was on Planet Earth, and when I was watching Planet Earth, it was David Attenborough, who's fucking great. Oh my god, dude! If David Attenborough would just like narrate my sex life, I'm pretty sure.
What else does he narrate again?
Yeah, well, Planet Earth.
Okay, what else? I've heard him in other
But
shit.
so he's British, but he's like, he sits and he talks like this. And he's got
Right.
a real like
'Cause I've heard him in
narrative
something
voice.
else, yeah.
Somewhat quiet.
I had my whole family watch it on the projector. We watched Planet Earth. It was fucking
Oh
awesome.
god, dude, he's great.
Like my 2-year-old daughter was
He's
watching like the fucking violent
fucking
animals,
great.
and I was like, no, this is dude, it was great. The way that they're showing like the fucking mouse running from like the fucking falcon or some shit, dude. Like what? Oh, dude, Planet Earth-
bear down.
He's like,
Oh, it's a good day for this
Lightning speeds you faster.
I think we want him to be like a Steve Irwin.
Oh god, rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Absolutely, absolutely, dude. Driving home from Seattle today, the person driving me home.
Steve Irwin.
I saw Steve Irwin. No, the person driving me home.
Oh, you took an Uber?
No.
Oh,
Person
bro,
driving me home pissed in a cup because we had to pee so fucking bad.
Oh, traffic.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
roadie.
Yeah.
It's real though. It sucks.
Yeah, dude, it was ridiculous. And then,
It sucks.
and then, dude, it was so bad. The traffic was so fucking bad. And then as soon as we get through Seattle, it was like, oh. He's like, I still have to pee. I was like, dude, I've had to pee this whole fucking time. And then we go to the fucking McDonald's. We're like, you can always use the restroom at McDonald's after already getting off an exit, going down like four more fucking, you know what I mean? Going down 4 more fucking lights, looking for the McDonald's. We pull up, the doors are locked, and there's like, you need a key, and it's like, customers only. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm about to buy a small fucking fry. So just so I can fucking...
Just so you can piss your pants?
Yeah, right. Like, I'll inhale the fries by the time I get to the bathroom door.
Yeah.
And then I will fucking
You're gonna
probably
eat them
piss
while
my
you're
pants by
pissing.
then.
Yeah.
Do we run out? And you can fill in the blanks.
Yeah.
I will say, not very mature.
Dude, fuck places that say customers only.
I mean, like, I get it, dude. You get weird people. I mean, it was Seattle. You get weird people coming in there
If you
trying to
have weird
sleep in the
people,
bathroom.
you
I
kick
mean, like,
them
I hate
the
to say it,
fuck
shoot
out.
up and shit.
You have
like,
some fucking balls.
You know, I
Get
agree.
some pepper spray.
But
Get
they're
a
only
taser,
paid $15 an hour, Austin.
Get a Colt 45. I don't care what you... 1911, those are great. They're selling great right now. You know,
He's talking about shit.
yeah.
Don't you people guys video?
Yeah. It's
No, I just remembered that I was like, I'm gonna talk about this on the podcast, and now because I said so, I have to, even though it does not fit into what we're discussing at all. Dude, what else is going on out there, man? I mean, we've been talking pretty deep, serious shit this episode, and I think it's kind of needed. I think a lot's been going on out there, and I think there's a lot of bullshit, like I've always said, but especially too with the last few episodes, man, it's needed. We need to get down and get cereal.
Fall is coming.
Fall is coming.
And that's great.
That is great.
Yeah, take your fucking phone off the desk, dude. Can't stand that fucking noise. There you go. Throw it down. Stomp on it. No, fuck that phone, dude. Fall is coming. Season changing. Always a great thing. People always want to complain about how it rains here all the time. Dude, watching season changes is great. We have great season changes.
So
I
refreshing.
love living here in the Northwest. Being appreciative, too. So the season change, which here's what I'll give you a quick synopsis. When it goes from summer to fall, summer to fall lasts about like mid to late August to late October. Sometimes into early November. Last year, I literally went hiking out in Crystal Mountain, and it was sunny as we were driving out, and this low rain cloud system, and it was a super cold system, came in. By the time we got to Crystal Mountain, it was snowing. And we hiked up in the snow. And this was November,
Fuck yeah.
November like 6th or 7th. But so, what's crazy is to see that the transition is nice and it's great. It can be quick, but there's no better moody tone than here in the Northwest. And that's what, honestly, I think what the Northwest is built on. When people want to talk about their fucking coffee mornings, driving on forest roads, the gray clouds overhead, the slight drizzle,
Fuck yeah, man.
smoking a joint, like all of that shit is so vindictive of what is here in the Northwest. It's
That's
great.
what's going on up here. If that's what you're all about, if you like Austin said, if you like that coffee, you like waking up in the morning and you're seeing that it's cloudy out, it's foggy, and then you feel the drizzle of the rain.
Dude,
And then guess what? You
so
want your snow.
cozy.
You want your sun. Oh, and guess what? Even if you get tired of it and you need some of your desert back because you're fucking weird like that and you're from the desert, that's fine. Drive 3.5 hours east.
Yeah, go to Yakima.
You got it. Oh, okay. You want to be close to the ocean? It's fine. Drive 2 hours west. Then you got Canada up north, and below us, something like Utah or something.
Oh
Kidding.
yeah,
Oregon.
dude. So gorgeous. I'm stoked for this time of season. If you don't get it,
This is
get
the
me.
best time of the season to be in the PNW. Honestly, I think a lot of people have it mixed up and they come here during the summer. And I think they're coming here during the summer to cool off because I think it's so fucking hot in other places. And now people are starting to realize, like, oh, I guess it's getting smoky. Like, I've been hearing people complain about that. That's the new end of summer in Washington. Like, we don't have to accept that as it being that way. Yes, it has been that way, but we could just try to do our best to prevent forest fires and not have it be that way. But honestly, like what Austin's saying, this time of the year is the best effing time to be in the PNW because I think everyone who is from the PNW and has lived here, or at least was born here, this is their favorite time of the year.
They know it. You know it. You know who you are.
You know it. You know who you are. You know who you are out there. But yeah, we are getting to that time here on episode 18. But Austin, sir, I had some ideas.
Yeah.
Shit, let me check it out.
What was it?
I always got good ideas, man. We were in theater together, you know.
Yep, that's right. I tell you what. Okay,
I tell you what, Bobby.
I'm going to ask you some questions. I'm going to ask you 3
No.
questions.
Dude, I'm great at these
Give you
games.
multiple choice,
I'm
and
so
you have to
good.
get it right. What happens if you get 2 out of 3 right? You get something. If you don't, then
Oh,
something
fuck.
happens to you.
I get something?
What are the terms? I don't know.
Ooh.
We got to get creative. Wait, you know what? Let's let the guests decide. Let's let
What are you guys
our
going to give
listeners
me?
decide. I don't know. You guys decide. Let's
What I
figure it
get.
out. Let's figure it out first. Let's figure it out if you're a winner or loser first.
Okay.
And then we
God.
decide.
Ricky Bobby never loses.
Ricky, are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready, sir?
Show me.
The first question is. What the fuck is on my phone? Okay. Who was born first? I can fucking pronounce this shit.
Who was born first?
Socrates? Socrates?
Yeah.
Am I saying that right? Socrates?
Socrates.
Okay.
Socrates.
Fuck,
That's
dude.
great.
Seneca? Confucius? Confucius?
Yeah, Confucius.
Just-
Now you're just playing with me.
Marcus Aurelius? Just kidding. Marcus Aurelius.
Confucius.
Confucius. So out of who was born first? Socrates, Seneca, Confucius, or Marcus Aurelius? Austin is choosing Confucius, and the answer is Confucius! First one correct, sir.
Yes.
Austin looked like he was about to cry. He was so happy you just got that right.
I like to thank my grandma.
Okay, what Hitchcock film was released in 1960?
Oh,
To Catch a
God.
Thief, North by Northwest.
Oh,
Pick
wait a
that
second.
answer just
Wait a
because
second.
it's the
Wait,
PacX podcast.
PacX
PacX,
podcast.
PacX at Lake Placid.
Psycho or The Birds? To Catch a Thief, North by Northwest, Psycho or The Birds. What Hitchcock film was released
Psycho.
in 1960? He's going to say Psycho, and ladies and gentlemen, the answer is Psycho! Austin got it correct again. Dude, you're on fucking fire. We're still going. Who
Thank
ascended
God.
the Spanish throne in 1975?
Oh,
Amadeo
fuck you.
the first, Juan Carlos the first,
Oh, I'm
Alfonso the X11,
X1.
Ferdinand, just A,
Fergie?
B, C, or D? Austin.
C.
No, it was fucking Juan Carlos, motherfucker. You got it wrong.
Yeah, damn.
All right,
it.
that one doesn't count. All right, how? I didn't even know that one. How are raisins produced from grapes?
Oh.
Deglazing,
What?
centrifuging,
Centrifuging?
centrifuging,
Fuck you. Just because I know it.
drying, or pickling.
Oh, dry.
How are drying? He's gonna say drying. I think it's pickling. No, or deglazing. Honestly, just kidding. It's drying. That one's right. Who?
They shrivel up,
Okay.
you dumb fuck. Oh my god.
Who was U.S. president during World War II? Really?
Oh god damn.
I'm not even gonna give you the multiple choice. Who was it? Was it Franklin D. Roosevelt, John F. Kennedy, Herbert Hoover, or Dwight D. Eisenhower?
Oh god. Dude.
Don't tell me you got all those fucking ones right. In this one, you know.
Thank God.
You got it right.
I served in the airborne infantry. Nothing but pogue, son. Oh god. World War II. You know what? Because I watched The Office recently. Give me Dwight. Give me the good old Dwight D. Eisenhower.
It was Frankie.
Oh, damn.
But Eisenhower, I mean...
It's
Eisenhower
okay.
was
You know, I
wrong.
don't know military history. Other
It's-
than watching Band of Brothers, and every time I watch Band of Brothers, I want to smoke a Lucky Strike cigarette, so I just go buy a pack of American Spirits, and I smoke cigarettes for like a week, and then I fucking hate it.
Really?
That's about my
That
world
works.
history. But I love military history. It's brutal. Civil War, brutal. You got
Dude.
shot with blunt lead balls, and you basically died.
Dude,
I'll tie back before we end.
Yeah.
When I was at the Hollywood Cemetery, there's this giant stone block pyramid that was built up. And it's basically this memorial to the women that helped served and died during the Civil War, but it also represented a bunch of unnamed soldiers, which I assume because there were soldiers
Yeah, of course.
in the cemetery that had graves and they had Confederate flags and they gave their name rank. They were all like between 20 and 23. like a lot of them. But so this giant pyramid was for 18,000 soldiers that were buried there that did not have graves.
Wow.
Yeah, but you can assume a lot of them, dude, like lieutenants, like, I mean, you were in the military, but like higher ranking officers, and they were 23 years old, and it's unfathomable, especially when you know about, like, there was a lot of medical procedures came about,
right,
due to it just being so brutal, like tourniquets, how to amputate, like, it's so, there was passages about soldiers hiding their gunshot wounds because they were so afraid because of the medical officers just sawing off their limbs, and they knew they would die. So then what would happen is they tried to hide their bullet wounds. They're just fucking gaping, or they have that bullet lodged in there, and they would die of, infection. Because you're just shooting blunt balls. And that was the thing, too. Like, that was back in the day, too, where you still had, like, rhetoric in war where you line up and you shoot each other.
They approached each other
that
like
was
they
where
had
guerrilla,
swords, but instead
warfare.
they had guns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, like,
so someone was like, wait, I'm going to run around the corner.
I'm pretty sure the South, like, they hid in trees. I mean, the whole thing was, I remember reading, like, the long-bore Tennessee riflemen, where they were like one of the first people to bore their rifles, like give spiraling to the rifles, but that was their whole point too, is they would hide in trees. They'd shoot guys.
Yep,
and here you have the North that would line up, shoot, kneel down, load, backline, shoot, walk in front of you, kneel down, load. Like, that was the way of war.
Yeah. Well, that was
insane.
Not
you're
only the way of war,
it's like
that
a
was the
deadly
effectiveness
game
of a bullet.
Fucking sport where you're just waiting to get bashed in the face with some wide lead ball.
Well, that was you're right. That was the way of war by formation.
What was that show you used to watch? Fuck, I'm pretty sure it was called Civil War or something. We used to watch it. You were watching it at your rental house, and I would come upon you.
Was it the?
Was it called The South? No, fuck. It was about the Civil War, but it was like,
I don't remember.
God damn it. We'll look it up. We'll find it out.
America, The Story of Us.
Ooh.
Might have been it. That's a great documentary series. I think there's propaganda in it. As of now, I watched it over and over back in the day, but there is a lot of history that is true that did happen, and that happened the way that it happened. And you can't, regardless when you're telling the story about a war, that is very real. There's no that is very real, and it definitely did happen. Oh man.
Hi, Krista.
This episode was a doozy.
This episode was a doozy.
It was a doozy.
Well, we're gonna get off here. We got some people got lives to live, things to do.
Yeah.
I gotta go get my toes all clipped. I got some ingrowns.
That's disgusting.
Ingrowns, man, they suck.
That's terrifying, dude. When I stub my toe, I lose 15 years of maturity immediately. Happens every time. Well, thank you so much to all of you out there for tuning in. This is the Pacific Experience Podcast. This is episode 18. We got a little serial on this one. It's also late. We apologize. Staying quiet.
It was good. This is how it's supposed to be. We miss y'all. I miss y'all.
Yeah, I fucking missed having you here, man. Austin's back. We will see you next week for episode 19. And please stay tuned. Episode 20 is going to be off the hook. Got some really special stuff coming. So fucking excited for it. Thank you to you listeners out there. You can check us out at PacX Podcast on the Facebook and
PacX Pod on Instagram.
That's right. You can also mainly check us out on Instagram. Instagram's popping. Instagram is sick. But give us a thumbs up, please. Give us a response. Let us know what you think. Subscribe. Yeah, let us know what you think so we can bring you the Pacific Experience Podcast. We will see you next week.